I've come up with a way to totally eradicate this whole idea of rejection in sales. If it's over at hello, how the heck are you going to succeed in selling? You've got to rise above that and change your mindset.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Stump The Guru Show. My name is Ari Galper, and we are here for our monthly show where we specialize in doing a deep dive in what I call trust-based selling. What that means is how to be able to develop a deep connection with someone in a short amount of time, where you can help them really own their problem, help them get clear on how they want to solve it with you, and collapse your sales cycle to a short amount of time, so you can stop chasing ghosts, chasing opportunities, and never call you back. That's the worst place to ever be, especially in the world we live in right now, which is very commoditized, more technology coming into place. And so the only way to differentiate your business will be your process itself. And if you have a trust-based model and trust-based process, you will win the game at the end of the day. So this show is about where people jump on live, ask me a question, unrehearsed, to have them provide me with a scenario that might be complex or simple, to give them an answer back based on our unique trust-based mindset that we have developed over the last 2 decades with our own languaging and our own phraseology and process. This also is our podcast show that will be all on Spotify and all the other channels that you normally listen to. And we usually have folks jump in if they want during the show. If not, we've got Sam back there. He and I can banter around on different topics that are happening, usually off the theme from today. But today's theme is the topic of how to essentially recover ghosts, how to bring back people onto your calendar to respond back to you who you feel like you've lost somewhere in the process. I'm sure most of you have those laying around somewhere in your ecosystem where you've had a great meeting with someone. They want to think about it. Now you're following up with them as a standard part of your process, and they've got cold on you. So the question is, how can you re-engage them again in a way that does not have the perception of you chasing them? Because the last thing you want to do is write a note or call and say, hi, I'm giving you a call to follow up. Don't ever use the word follow up ever again. That's the worst word to ever use in this day and age, because it's a sales word. Everyone knows it a mile away, and it feels like you're trying to move them forward. So I have developed what's called the apology following your sword email, an email I developed years ago that when I did live seminars, I had all the audience bring their laptops to our events. They'd bring a list of all their ghosts up on their laptops, and at lunchtime, I gave them an email to send out to everybody on their list. And we came back from lunch, and they all had responses back. And the audience called that the magic email. So here's the concept. The concept is, rather than chasing somebody, what you want to do is send them an email. It'll be a phone call, but if they can't reach them, use an email. And I'm going to read to you right from my screen here. I have a copy of it, what I came up with as a template. You can tweak it as you like, adjust as you like, but I'll read it to you right now. The subject line of the email will be this: apology, ... Hi, first name, hope you are well. I'm getting in touch with you, not to move things forward, but to simply apologize. It's possible somewhere along the way I may have missed some questions, or maybe provide you too much information, or didn't give you what you needed, or perhaps it was something else. I'm not sure. I'm just writing you for only one reason, and that is to ask you if you'd be so kind, to share some of your feedback on how I could improve and could have done a better job should we have a chance to work together sometime in the future. We only get better in life if others are open to sharing the truth of how we can improve ourselves. John, first name, I would really appreciate any feedback. That's the key word. Any feedback you'd be open to sharing. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Warmest regards. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why should I apologize? I did nothing wrong. Well, you have to humanize the next contact, because it's possible that maybe you did in your process either overeducate, did free consulting, didn't build enough trust, did a demo too long. You could have done something wrong. You don't know. You can't assume. So the best thing to do is what I call fall on your sword and say to yourself, hey, maybe it was what you're saying. Maybe it was me. It's not you. Maybe somewhere along the way, I did not give you what you needed, or it was something else. I don't know what it is, but the message also says This is over. All I want to know is for next time around, is there something I could have improved on? You're being humble, human, saying, hey, maybe it was your fault as to why you're chasing them, not their fault. And it could be true. And the interesting thing, surprising thing is, at my events, people would come back from lunch, get replies back that said, here's what they will almost always say. It would say, no, 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 you are fine. The issue is I was traveling. My wife wasn't here. I just got your information. I got a meeting next week. And all the truth would come out. The truth would come out as to why they didn't contact them. And your goal in our process is the truth, not the sale, because the truth determines whether a sale is there or not. So I'd encourage you to shift your mindset and get away from chasing these folks and instead re-engage them in a more human way where you're more humble. You fall on your sword and say, hey, maybe it was me. We're not going to move things forward. I know it's over. I'm ready to walk away. But if you have any feedback for me, that would be great. So try that. Give it a test. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. And let us know next time on the show. Come on live and let me know how it goes. And we'll go from there. So we're now going to go to the back of the green room and see who's back there who may have a question. And Steve, let us know if we have someone back there.
All righty. Hey, what's happening? It's hot out. It's New York, but it's going to be even hotter for the person that I'm bringing now onto the show. It's going to be Fred Dent from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where, as he once told me, it is hotter than a swamp. And it's, hey, Fred, what's happening, buddy? Oh, you're on mute.
Here I am. Hey, guys.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Great. Hey, Fred, how you doing?
Good, Ari. Good to see you.
You too. You want to share maybe a little bit about what you do for the folks listening in?
Well, I'm a financial advisor in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and indeed it's hot. I mean, it was like 105 degrees today and quite stifling. You guys in Australia, you're probably much cooler at this time of year.
Yes, we are.
And thank you for the apology letter. I'd like to get a copy of that because that sounds very powerful. I have no compunction about apologizing. I do it quickly and do it well. And I find it's quite disarming. And I think that sounds like a great program. I am not trying to stump you, Ari. I wanted to just introduce to you an idea or a discussion area that maybe you can address.
For sure.
And you've probably talked about this on previous podcasts. And it has to do with artificial intelligence. So we see Microsoft last month published a list of the top 40 jobs that are most likely to be eliminated over time, like interpreters, language interpreters. Basically, it says that you're only safe if you're a plumber or a physical therapist or something that requires touch or dealing in the real world with hard objects. Now, we saw with robo-advisors that people don't really kind of trust those. Maybe some people use it, but it didn't really stick. But I believe that eventually it's going to come to the point, and you have a dose of this on your RE AI thing, where not only can the avatar speak, but it can sense the human emotions. And as this develops, it's going to be so lifelike and responsive in real time on a deep emotional level that people will begin to trust it and put people like me who are financial advisors challenge their businesses. So I'm wondering, on a more nuanced and a deeper level, what our defense is against this beyond just trust.
Well, it's not about defenses. It's about being more real and empathetic than the machines. What I'm trying to say is that requires us to be much better at getting at a deeper level with empathy and trust with your clients and other people. Meaning, sure, the machine can be human-like, but it's not human. And I think the only way to really conquer this over time, obviously you want to use those tools to enable your business operationally and all that. But to keep the human connection with a human being, we have to constantly get better and better at getting with people to the level where they have this deep sense of being understood at the human level with us over time. So what I'm trying to say is this is a lifelong skill from white belt to green belt to black belt, where you get so good with people that you're actually better than the machine because it's learning from its current data, but you're one of the other human being who can have a better sense of that depth. So it will be a race. There's not about that. But you've got to be ahead of that race by continuing to get better and better at the skill set of trust building.
Yeah. And so what, for the average person who's listening to this podcast, what do you think are besides, and your techniques are very powerful. I'm using them now. Trust-based selling. I love it. It's been transformational for me in my interactions. But what are some of the deeper things that a person is going to need to learn how to do that go beyond what you teach? And I'm challenging you here because this is beyond just everything that we're expecting. It's going to go to a level that is going to require we as humans to cultivate and develop skills that are transcendent almost.
I think the skill is, and I've mentioned this to you before to others, but most people kind of gloss over it, is, if you remember the iceberg concept I talked to you about, is the ability to deep dive inside the problem at such a deep level that the other person says to themselves, he just gets me. Okay, now AI is very good at solving problems. It's very good at asking questions. Maybe a little bit better at this over time, but the advantage is always going to be your ability to have them open up a window to their situation and you deep dive inside there to empathize, to ask the questions, to really understand the full landscape of their situation at a very deep level, so that they automatically say to themselves, he just gets me. Because when you arrive at that point with someone, it's game over. Whether AI gets there, we'll see. But what I'm trying to say is you got to keep sharpening your sword to make sure you're getting that reaction from your new opportunities and your clients. Because I just had a call 5 minutes ago with a law firm, and they have an estate law firm, actually. They have leads coming in, and the attorneys are mostly doing fact finding with these people. You need to trust. Why do you need to trust? What's your age? Where do you live? They think they're diagnosing the problem by fact finding. That's not trust building. I had to educate them to understand there's a whole level beneath that surface, where they showed me an example of a conversation where one of their potential clients opened up for a few seconds about why they want an estate plan to protect their family from getting into basically a war in the event someone gets favored. Right? And the attorney just glossed over that and moved towards a solution. I said, no, stop right there. You have to go into that opening spot there and really help amplify what the deeper issue is, so that client can articulate that to you, so they feel you understand them at the emotional level. And I coached him and I said to him, what you need to say is, so what I understand is what you're really concerned is that if you provide your son with this and your other kids don't get this, then you're going to create almost this destructive mechanism in your family that will destroy your legacy that you've built. Is that right? And the guy goes, yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to say. So what I'm trying to say to you, Fred, is you've got to continue to sharpen your sword at getting better at that skill set to really help your clients articulate the totality of their deepest emotional issues that they're trying to help you solve. And then we see who wins the race. Yeah. We won't know till we get there, but at least you'll be ahead of the curve.
Yeah. Thank you, Ari.
All right, Fred. Good to see you again. All right, we're back to Stump The Guru Show. An interesting comment from Fred, very timely, very real. And I just see that I've seen for 20 years and in the future that those who are masterful at trust building, not just relationship building at the surface level, but below the surface, being able to go down the iceberg and spend time inside those issues and don't jump to solutions too quickly, are the ones who will win at the end, because that's what real trust is. Real authentic trust is when the other person says to themselves, he just gets me. Then they make the immediate association that you're the one to solve their problem, without you having to provide solutions. Okay? That's a total mindset shift. Whether AI gets this or not, I don't know. But you, if you're out there right now on the ground in the trenches, need to master this now, because otherwise you get commoditized, and then it's easy to replicate what you do. Others can solve problems like that with solutions. So hopefully that makes sense. If you want to do a deeper dive on this, grab my latest book, Trust in a Split Second. You can get a free copy at thetrustbook.com. We'll mail it to you. We'll cover the stamps for that. If you want, you can have a chat with us as well. If you don't know about Ari AI, I have cloned myself into almost a superhuman situation where I have my own private repository of all my years 25 work that is not publicly available anywhere on any other public system, ChatGPT or whatever you want to say. You can certainly use my name on there, but all they do is they polish the writing and collate what they collect, but it's not evolving and developed like we have here in our private system. So if you want to get a free live demo of that, just go to arigalper.com.ai, schedule a demo, and bring your toughest challenges and try and break it. Try and challenge it, and it'll be blown away by the introspection, the depth of the knowledge and the wisdom that is provided, not just scanning the internet and grabbing information and finding the average to give it back to you. So it's a unique process that we've developed, and it's all available to you in real time to access that RE AI model. So anyway, Steve, anyone else back there to have a chat?
Absolutely, but I've got two things first. One, the thing people don't realize about AI is that it dominates in IQ, right? And look, we've both worked with a lot of clients over the years that deal in EQ, emotional intelligence. That's going to be the dominant thing here, that as a human, we could always do better. The other thing is there's a new feature in StreamYard that I'd like to try with you right now. Let's see what happens. We can now put a comment. We got a great comment in from Doug McKenzie on YouTube. So I'm going to see if I can load this comment on the screen. Oh, there we go. Oh, that looks awesome, actually. So you can answer. It's a pretty simple question, but I thought it would be a great way to try it. And Doug's watching us live on YouTube. What's up, Doug? How you doing today, buddy? I'm going to bounce out, and then I'll bring in Sam after you answer the question.
That is so cool. Are you able to bring Doug in live?
No, not from a different resource. Doug, if you wanted to jump in live, you could go to stumptheguru.com right now.
Yeah, Doug. Doug, if you wouldn't mind jumping live
right now.
I'd love to get more context behind the situation he's describing. I know he says contractors, and it's a broad concept, but I wanted to know like a specific scenario where you find yourself not being trusted. So if you want to jump on a quick at stumptheguru.com, we can pull you in. If not, I can take a shot at this, but it's not simple for me because I can't understand the scenario you're trying to describe. But in general, contractors, advisors, attorneys, it doesn't matter. We are now in a commoditized world, okay? So you're not unique in your situation. A lot of professionals are now struggling with the idea of how to build trust and differentiate. And Steve had a very good point there, that most humans have not worked on their ability to develop their EQ, the emotional AI, right? Emotional intelligence. They've been so used to selling, doing fact-finding, and they're going to lose the AI if they themselves don't improve their ability to build trust with people. So hopefully that's a very clear point that Steve brought up. But I don't know what your scenario is, Doug, but in general, what you have to think about is how to differentiate your contracting firm, not by your services or your what you do, but by your approach itself. What I mean by that is I assume most people have folks coming your way looking to do a job. And probably what you might be doing is, I don't know, I'm just guessing, you're probably getting the facts from the job and then give them a quote for the job, send them the quote maybe in the mail or email, and hopefully you call it back. And then they accept the quote or they shop your quote around, and then you're subjected to a race to the bottom for prices. I don't know if that's your scenario or not, but most likely it might be. The key idea here is you have to get out of the quote business and get into the plan business. We're not sending quotes out to people, but you're helping them build a plan to show them how you can solve their problem. And that goes to your ability to really unpack the situation, help them get clear on what's most important for them, and then to walk them through a roadmap or a visual process that you use to make sure, and here's the key phrase, you get it right the first time. They have to see your formula. They have to see your process for what your model is to be able to feel comfortable hiring you over someone else. So the big idea here is You build trust and differentiate your business, not based upon your services, but based upon your approach itself. If you can master the art of that, then you win the game on trust in any business. I've got a lot of actually plumbers, contractors, some roofers recently, a gutter guard business who have come my way needing help with this exact problem. Because they're chasing quotes, competing on price, and losing profits because it's one problem. So I'd encourage you, Doug, to grab my book at thetrustbook.com. Schedule time with us. We'll mail it to you, and I have a chat. We can unpack your process and identify where the holes are and where we're going to plug it up. And then I think you should be good to go from there. Hopefully that's helpful. So that was great. I like that new tool where a question could come in. That's awesome, Steve. Who else is back there?
We're going to bring Sam on next, so I'm going to pull that comment down. It's gone now. Let's bring on Sam.
Sure.
Hey, Sam, what's happening, buddy?
Hey, Steve. Hey, Ari. Hey, Ari.
Sam.
Man, just some real nostalgia there. Listening to you talk about that apology email was just mind-blowing. I got to jump in. I got to say some things about that. I mean, look, I've been following you for a lot of years, as you know, almost 20 myself and everything that you have always said to me has resonated quite well. Like I thought, yeah, absolutely. He's right. Except for the apology email, right? So when I first heard that, I thought, like most people are probably thinking, we get driven by ego. We're thinking, I'm not apologizing for anything. I've done nothing wrong, right? Especially me, I'm Italian, like we don't do anything wrong, right? So I remember thinking to myself, I don't like it, but I was open to it. And I got to tell you, on and off over time, I've been using that email and that apology email, and it is mind-blowing. It is amazing. I have lost count of how many sales I've actually had in all my different things I've done that have come out from that apology email. And you're 100% right. In most cases, it's no, it wasn't you, it was us, things, this, that, other things, we've been busy, whatever the situation is. And then you re-engage and it just works. So, all of us, everybody listening on this call, everybody has got a situation where they've been ghosted. You can almost guarantee it. And everybody would make money from a new sale. Many people are on low volume, high margin industries, so the money's going to be decent. So here's my challenge to everybody listening. Listen to this podcast, write out that script, and do what Ari said. Just send it out to everybody that's ghosted you and sit back and watch what happens. You will be absolutely amazed, as I have been. And it's still to this day, if the situation arises, doesn't matter, whatever. Sometimes I coach people and I say, you know what, just try this. And it's the same thing all the time. It's like, wow. So, challenge. That's the challenge for everybody on the call. Do it. That's the only way to test it.
Yeah, just cut and paste and hit this button called send.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you have to do. Okay, because you have to understand we are so wired to assume we're good at what we do. We know what we're doing. Why can't they decide? We blame the other person and we assume it's their problem, and our job is to chase them. And your job is not to chase anybody.
No.
Your job is to get to the truth of what their situation is. Now, the real question is, why did they tell you the truth in the beginning?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why are they ghosting you? Because that means you did something wrong in the first stage and did not build trust with them. The only reason you're here chasing ghosts is because something you did on your end early on didn't make them feel comfortable telling you the truth. Once you kind of realize, oh shit, I'm the problem here, not the customer. I've got to change, because most of us are wired and conditioned to the old way of selling, where we have a great meeting. I'm doing an article on this right now that says, I had a great meeting, all went well. Why did I lose the client? Because a great meeting does not mean a sale, right? It's not the chemistry, it's your ability to get the truth with people.
Absolutely. And such a humbling experience. And I'll go one further. There was one person a long time ago actually did give me some feedback. And I remember at the time thinking to myself, oh, that's a little bit harsh. And then I reflected and I thought, you know what? You're absolutely right. I was that way. And it really, from that moment, I realized that it is about us and the things that we do. We need to be conscious of it. We're often not conscious because we're in the zone, we're trying to get the sale or whatever the situation might be. But that one bit of feedback that one client gave me 15 years ago, whatever it was, literally changed my whole approach. And you know what? So it's a win-win on every occasion with that email. So once again, I can't talk highly enough of it.
That's great. Like, I hope everyone today got a big idea, whether it was talking about AI or talking about that deal with a contractor or the apology approach to recovering your ghosts. There's plenty here. Just a small sample of what we have in our treasure chest of ways to solve problems from a trust perspective. So I'd encourage everyone to grab a copy of my book at thetrustbook.com, get a demo of REAI at regalper.ai, schedule it there. You will not be disappointed. In fact, you might be blown away by what you can't see on your own from what you already know, because all you know is what you know. So we have got to the point now where we have made this into an art form where once you master this, you are so ahead of the curve. I just had a call yesterday. I watched a demo of this AI tool inside of it, Salesforce CRM. And there's a whole section on follow-up stages. Like, there's all this time spent on chasing people, the scripts about chasing, how to follow up with people. I was amazed by the fact that the corporate world still lives in this idea that chasing and following up is acceptable. What then I realized is what even caused that stage to even occur. Because these meetings are not scheduled. They're like chasing stages, not scheduled next step stages. And I'm saying to myself, imagine the amount of money being lost every year by companies accepting chasing and following up as normal. It is abnormal because you're missing the process to prevent that from happening. So on that note, great to see you again. Sam, glad you're here. Those listening, you've been in my world for a long time. Thank you for being with me all these years. There's a lot more coming. A lot of new announcements coming soon as well with RAI, and I'd encourage you to get involved as soon as possible because the world is changing quickly, and the one with the most trust at the end of the day wins the game. So on that note, good to see you, Sam. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Ari.
Now, bye-bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.
I've come up with a way to totally eradicate this whole idea of rejection in sales. If it's over at hello, how the heck are you going to succeed in selling? You've got to rise above that and change your mindset.